I'm Anil Kumar. I'm sharing a question from my subscriber, and I hope the solution of this question will help you all. Now, this question could come in combinations or in Pascal's triangles. I'm not really sure in which area the student has interest. So I'll provide you with two different solutions for the same question. So I've rephrased this question. It says, Anil travels 3 blocks east and 4 blocks south to reach school. How many different routes can he take traveling only east and south? So let's say that is the starting point, and this is east direction, and that is the south direction for me. So when we say Anil travels 3 blocks east, we'll mark the blocks like this. Let's say 1, 2, 3, right? So these are 3 blocks east. 4 blocks south. Let me just make a grid here. 1, 2, 3, 4, right? So after traveling 3 blocks east, 4 blocks south, Anil reaches school. That means you could go different ways, right? You could go first all east, for example, 1, 2, 3, and then south 1, 2, 3, 4. You reach this place. So that's the final destination, and here we start. We say how many different routes he can take traveling only east and south. That means diagonal is not permitted, but you can follow the route, right, in this situation. So you could go many different ways. You could go like this, for example. Reach, correct? Or you could go, for example, like this, and then reach. So there are so many paths to follow. We need to figure out how many possible routes are there. So in the first strategy, we'll talk about Pascal's triangle, right? And see how we can do using Pascal's triangle. Okay, so if you look at the number of paths, you can say you can go straight. Let's take this path. So going to this point straight east will be one way. This, let me write one under this point. Let's say we are following. We'll write here one way. This is one way. This is one way. Correct. If you go south, in that case also this is like one way. Just south. I'm just saying south one way. So normally in Pascal's triangle you do outside first, right? To get the inside points, it is easier to add the previous two. So here we should get number 2. The idea is you can reach this point in 2 different ways: east, south, or southeast, 2 different ways, correct? So that is how we reach here. You could reach the next point in 2 plus 1, 3 different ways. That is to say, you could go east, south, south, or you could go south, east, south, or you could go south, south, east. So there are 3 different ways, only 3 different ways to reach this point. Perfect. To reach that point, 3 plus 1, 4, same strategy. And here 4 plus 1, 5, to get an idea. So that's the way to fill in your grid. So you can come to this point now. 2 plus 1, 3, 3 plus 3, 6, 6 plus 4, 10, and 10 plus 5. You can reach from here or there to this point, 15. 1 plus 3 is 4, 4 plus 6 is 10, 10 plus 10 is 20, 20 plus 15 is 35. So the total number of ways you can reach this point is 35. So from here we found that this is 35 as shown in the grid. Perfect. So that is how you could do it. Now let me share with you alternate method of answering this question. Now we call it combinations, right? You could do combinations. Combinations much faster. You know, in Pascal's triangle also, each and every point could be written in the form of combination formula, right? So we could restate this question as Anil can travel in all how many blocks? 3 blocks east and 4 blocks south. So that means 7 blocks total in all. Is it okay? So Anil needs to travel 7 blocks either way you go, 7 blocks to reach to the south. Now it says Anil travels 3 blocks east. So let us say first he travels in the east direction. It could be any east, this east, that east, whatever, but 3 times east. You get my point. It could be east, 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 correct? So 3 times east. So the combination of traveling east with total 7 blocks of traveling will be 7C3. Once you travel, consider or write down the ways of traveling east. You are left with, out of 7, 4 ways of traveling south. So that is, multiply this by 4C4. Do you understand the concept? Right? So that becomes the total number of combinations of taking a path from the starting point to the end point. Right? So you could do 4, you could travel for south and write it as, you could write it as 7C4 and 3C3, right? You'll get the same answer. Anyway, let's figure out the answer. 7C3, 4C4. So that means 7 factorial divided by 3 factorial times 7 minus 3 factorial times 4C4 is 4 factorial divided by 4 factorial times 4 minus 4 factorial, which is 0 factorial, right? So let's calculate this. So we get 7 times 6 times 5 divided by 3 times 2 times 1. 7 minus 3 factorial, so no need to write those. And 3 times 2 is 6, cancel out. So what are you left with? And that is of course 1. Okay, let me write that also. Times 1, is it okay? Times 1, because this is 4 factorial cancel. This is 4 minus 4 is 0 factorial, which is 1. Right, let me write 0 factorial, which is 1. And so what we get here is 35, the same answer. Perfect. So that is the way you could do using combinations. I hope both the methods are absolutely clear. Now for your practice, I've just changed some numbers, and that's the question for you. Peter travels 4 blocks east and 5 blocks south to reach school. How many different routes can he take traveling only east and south? So follow this method and then get your answer. The answer for this question is how much? Should I write in combination or in numbers? Okay, so anyway, you have to make one more layer here if you have to get to that, or combination, but what you should get is 126, and that will be your answer. Perfect. I'm Anil Kumar, and I hope you understand and appreciate the solution. Feel free to post questions, keep liking my videos, and share them with your friends. Thank you, and all the best.